Welcome back to the Metaphysics Podcast. I'm Dennis Goddard,
And I'm Louise Hicks.
and we are ready for another deep dive.
Yeah. Are you ready to kind of turn your approach to achieving your goals upside down?
Well, yeah, instead of grinding and hustling to reach your goals,
Right.
you could effortlessly attract them by already feeling what it's like to have them
Yeah.
intrigued. That's exactly what we're going to be exploring today.
Okay.
It is a game changer,
Cool.
and we're going to be talking about the teachings of Neville Goddard,
Right.
whose work offers a really unique perspective on the power of our own consciousness in shaping our reality.
Yeah.
Buckle up. Get ready for a deep dive into the fascinating world of manifestation,
I love it.
where your thoughts and feelings
Okay.
hold more power than you might realize.
That's right.
So let's start with something we're all familiar with.
Okay.
The idea that success comes from hard work and constant striving.
Right?
But what if I told you that sometimes the harder you try to force something, the further it slips away?
Yeah, that's the law of reverse effort.
Okay.
So the more we strain and struggle to achieve something, the more we're actually emphasizing its absence in our lives and pushing it further away.
So it's it's almost as if our desperation creates a kind of resistance.
Yes.
Right? Like we're pushing against the very thing we want to attract.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to be unpacking in this deep dive.
Okay, well, I am very excited about this.
Yeah, me too.
So how does this law of reverse effort
Yeah.
relate to manifesting our desires?
Okay.
Is it really as simple as just shifting our thoughts and feelings?
Well, it's more nuanced than that, but
Okay.
the essence of it lies in recognizing that our consciousness is the primary creative force in our life.
Okay.
Now, Neville Goddard taught that the spiritual realm,
Yeah.
which he equated with our consciousness, is the cause and the physical realm is the effect.
Okay.
So in other words, our thoughts and feelings that aren't just passive reflections of our reality,
Right.
they're actively shaping it.
Oh, I like that.
I know, it's good, isn't it?
So if we want to change our reality,
Yes.
we need to start by changing our consciousness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is where the concept of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled comes in.
Okay.
It's about moving beyond mere positive thinking and truly embodying the feeling of already having what we desire.
Okay, I'm hooked.
Good.
But how do we actually do that? How do we bridge the gap between where we are now and where we want to be?
Yeah.
Especially when those desires feel really big or far off.
Neville Goddard had a powerful story about this.
Okay.
He desperately wanted to go to America during wartime.
Right.
But everyone told him it was impossible.
Yeah.
Travel was restricted, the waiting list was incredibly long.
Ah.
But instead of giving up
Right.
or getting caught in the trap of striving,
Yeah.
he decided to apply this principle of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So he began to live as if he were already in America. In his imagination, he walked the streets of New York City, felt the cold air on his face, saw the skyscrapers.
Wow.
He fully immersed himself in the feeling of being there.
So he essentially created a vivid mental movie
Yes.
of his desired reality.
Yes. And here's the remarkable part.
Okay.
Seemingly out of nowhere, a man he had never met before helped him secure passage to America.
Wow.
And within a few months, he was standing on those very streets he had walked in his imagination.
That's an incredible example of the power of this concept.
It is.
It suggests that our imagination isn't just a frivolous pastime.
Right.
It's a potent tool for shaping our reality.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not just about visualizing what we want,
Yes.
but about truly feeling it as if it's already ours.
That's it.
Okay.
So we tap into the deeper implications of the law of reverse effort.
Okay.
It's not about passively wishing for things.
Wow.
It's about actively creating the inner conditions that make those wishes possible.
It's about aligning our actions with our inner state of being,
Yes.
rather than desperately trying to manipulate the outer world.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And when we're truly aligned with our desires, the right actions will naturally emerge. They won't feel like a burden or a struggle.
Yeah.
They'll feel like a joyful expression of who we are
Right.
and what we want to create.
This is fascinating.
I know, right?
And I'm sure our listeners are eager to hear more about how to apply these principles in their own lives.
Yes, definitely.
Well, before we get into those practical details, we're going to take a quick break.
Sounds good.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more insights from Louise on the law of reverse effort
Yeah.
and the power of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled.
Looking forward to it.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss part 2 of this mind-blowing deep dive into the world of metaphysics.
That's going to be good.
We'll be right back.
See you soon. It's a powerful shift in perspective, isn't it?
It really is. We're so used to believing that things take time,
Yeah.
that we have to wait for our desires to manifest.
Yeah, we do.
But this concept suggests a whole different approach.
Right.
One that's based on trusting the power of our own consciousness.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of Neville Goddard's teachings.
Right.
He empowers us to become conscious creators of our reality.
Yeah, that brings up a fascinating point.
Yeah.
If we're constantly creating
Uh-huh.
through our assumptions,
Mm-hmm.
both consciously and unconsciously,
Right.
how do we start to become more aware
Okay.
of those unconscious assumptions that might be holding us back?
That's where the real work begins.
Okay.
It's about becoming a detective of your own mind, paying attention to your thoughts, your feelings, your reactions.
Right.
What are the stories you're telling yourself? What are the beliefs you're holding on to?
Yeah.
Often these unconscious assumptions stem from our past experiences, from societal conditioning, or even from limiting beliefs we inherited from our families.
So it's like we're carrying around all this invisible baggage that's shaping our reality without us even realizing it.
Exactly.
Wow.
And until we become aware of that baggage,
Right.
we're going to keep recreating the same patterns in our lives.
Yeah, it's almost like...
It's like trying to drive a car with the emergency brake on.
Right, exactly, yeah. Okay, so how do we release that emergency brake?
Okay.
How do we start to identify and change those unconscious assumptions?
The first step is awareness.
Okay.
Start paying attention to your thoughts and feelings throughout the day.
Uh-huh.
Notice any recurring patterns of negativity or self-doubt.
Right.
When you catch yourself thinking a limiting thought,
Yeah.
ask yourself, is this really true? Or is this just an old story I'm telling myself?
Yeah, it's like we're becoming more mindful of our inner dialogue.
Yes.
Challenging those old stories that might not be serving us anymore.
Exactly. And once you start to question those stories, you can begin to rewrite them.
Okay.
Affirmations can be helpful for this.
Okay. So like instead of saying I'm not good enough,
Yes.
we start affirming I am worthy and capable.
Exactly. You're literally reprogramming your subconscious mind with new beliefs that align with your desires.
I like that.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people might struggle with affirmations.
Okay.
They can feel a bit forced or inauthentic at times.
Yeah, I understand that feeling.
Yeah.
And it's important to remember that affirmations aren't about lying to yourself or pretending to believe something you don't.
Right.
It's about consistently presenting your mind with a new possibility, a new truth that you want to embody.
So it's more about offering our minds a new perspective and a way of seeing ourselves in the world.
Precisely. And just like any seed, it takes time, nurturing, and consistency for it to grow.
Yeah.
Don't expect to see results overnight.
Right.
Be patient with yourself and trust the process.
Patience is definitely key when it comes to personal transformation.
It is.
We live in a culture that's obsessed with quick fixes.
Right.
But real change takes time and dedication.
Absolutely.
So beyond affirmations,
Yes.
what are some other techniques we can use
Okay.
to shift our unconscious assumptions?
Visualization is incredibly powerful.
Okay.
Imagine yourself living the reality you desire.
Uh-huh.
See it, feel, experience it with all your senses.
Right.
The more vivid and detailed your visualization,
Right.
the more you're impressing it upon your subconscious mind.
Visualization is something I've always found helpful.
Yeah.
Like creating a blueprint for our desires in our minds.
Exactly. But I know it can be challenging to maintain that focus.
Right.
Especially with all the distractions in our modern world.
Oh, yeah. Tons of distractions.
It takes practice.
It does.
It does. But like any skill,
Right.
it gets easier the more you do it.
Right.
Start with short visualization sessions, even just a few minutes a day. Find a quiet place where you can relax and focus.
Uh-huh.
And don't get discouraged if your mind wanders at first.
Right.
Just gently guide it back to your visualization.
So it's about training our minds to focus on what we want to create.
Exactly. And remember, the more you practice, the easier it becomes.
Okay, this is all so fascinating.
It is.
But I'm wondering, what about those deeply ingrained beliefs that we've carried with us for years, maybe even decades?
Yeah.
How do we change those?
Those can be a bit trickier, but they're definitely not impossible to change.
Okay.
One technique that Neville Goddard recommended is what he called revision.
Revision.
Yes.
I'm not familiar with that technique.
It's essentially going back and rewriting your past experiences in your imagination.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of dwelling on the negative or traumatic events,
Right.
you revisit them in your mind and change the script.
Okay.
You reimagine them in a way that empowers you.
Well, wait a minute. Are we talking about altering our memories? That sounds a little intense.
It's not about denying what happened or pretending it didn't occur.
Okay.
It's about recognizing that our memories are subjective interpretations of events.
Okay.
And those interpretations can be colored by our current beliefs and emotions.
Okay, so it's like we're reframing those past experiences through a new lens.
Exactly. Let's say you had a childhood experience where you were bullied or made to feel inadequate.
Right.
That experience might have created a belief that you're not worthy or lovable.
Right.
Through revision, you go back to that scene in your imagination and rewrite it in a way that empowers you. Yeah. Maybe you imagine yourself standing up to the bully or receiving support from someone you trust.
So we're essentially changing the emotional charge associated with that memory.
Yes. You're literally changing the energy of the past.
Wow.
And when you change the energy of the past, you change the energy of the present.
That's a really powerful idea.
It is.
It suggests that we have more control over our past than we might realize.
We do. Our past doesn't have to define us.
Right.
We can choose how we relate to it and how we allow it to shape our present and future.
This is all so inspiring.
I know.
It's like we're literally rewriting our destiny.
We have far more power than we realize. The key is to become conscious of that power and to use it wisely.
This has been an incredible exploration of the law of reverse effort.
It has.
And the power of assumption.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and insights with us today.
It's been my pleasure, Dennis.
And to all of you listening, this is just the beginning of our deep dive into the world of metaphysics. We'll be back after a short break with part 3, where we'll explore how to apply these principles to specific areas of your life, like relationships, finances, and health. Don't go anywhere. And if you're enjoying this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Metaphysics Podcast. We are continuing our exploration of the law of reverse effort and the power of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled with the insightful Louise Hicks.
I'm excited to talk about this.
Yeah, me too.
How can we put this all into practice?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Louise, how can we use this understanding to create tangible shifts in specific areas of our lives?
Yeah.
Like relationships, finances, or even our health.
Right.
Let's start with relationships.
Okay.
A topic that's close to many people's hearts.
Yes, it is.
What do we got?
One of the most common pitfalls I see when it comes to love is that people get caught in the trap of searching and striving for the perfect partner. They're focused on what's missing, which, according to the law of reverse effort, actually pushes love further away.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So instead of looking for love, we need to shift our focus to embodying the qualities we want to attract.
Yes.
Right.
It's about becoming the kind of person who naturally draws in the love we desire.
Okay.
So ask yourself, if I were already in a loving, fulfilling relationship, how would I feel? How would I act? How would I treat my partner?
Right.
And then start living from that state of consciousness.
Okay.
It's about cultivating self-love, radiating warmth and kindness, and being the best version of yourself.
It's like we're creating a vibrational match for the kind of relationship we want to experience.
Precisely, we become magnets for what we embody, not what we chase.
That makes a lot of sense.
It does.
Now, what about manifesting financial abundance?
Okay.
How can we apply these principles to create more prosperity in our lives?
Well, the same principles apply here. Instead of dwelling on lack or scarcity, we need to cultivate a consciousness of abundance.
Okay.
Start by appreciating what you already have, even if it's small.
Right.
Express gratitude for the money you do have, for the roof over your head, for the food on your table.
Gratitude is such a powerful practice.
It is.
It's like we're shifting our energy from what's missing to what we're thankful for.
Yes, and that shift in energy is key.
Right.
When we're grateful, we open ourselves up to receiving more. Another powerful technique is to visualize yourself living the reality of financial abundance.
Okay.
Imagine having more than enough money to meet your needs and desires. Feel the joy and freedom that comes with financial security.
So it's about creating that feeling of abundance within ourselves,
Yes.
even before the physical manifestation appears.
Exactly. And remember, action is still important.
Okay.
But when you're coming from a state of abundance consciousness,
Right.
the right opportunities and resources will naturally flow into your life.
Ah.
You'll be inspired to take actions that align with your desires.
Oh.
And those actions will feel effortless and joyful, not forced or stressful.
It's not about sitting back and waiting for money to fall from the sky.
No, it's not.
It's about aligning our actions
Yeah,
with our thoughts and beliefs.
precisely. And these principles can be applied to any area of life,
Oh.
whether it's health, career, or personal growth.
Okay.
It all starts with our consciousness.
Hmm.
What are we choosing to focus on?
Right.
What kind of reality are we creating with our thoughts and feelings?
This has been such an insightful exploration, Louise.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and expertise with us today.
It's been my pleasure.
I know our listeners are going to
Yeah.
be buzzing with ideas about how to apply these principles in their own lives.
I hope so.
And to all of you listening, we hope this deep dive into the law of reverse effort has sparked your imagination and ignited a sense of possibility within you. Remember, you are the creator of your reality. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your assumptions are shaping your experience in every moment. When you shift your consciousness to the state of already having what you desire, you align yourself with the infinite power of creation and open yourself up to limitless possibilities. So go out there and start creating the life you truly desire. Don't forget to subscribe to the Metaphysics Podcast for more mind-expanding explorations, and feel free to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Until next time, keep exploring, keep expanding, and keep creating the reality of your dreams.